This tutorial, we're going to edit Donald Trump's face and put it on the face of the Cowardly Lion. So I'm going to start with the photo of Donald Trump. And I'm going to double click on the background layer to remove this lock, which will enable me to introduce my layer mask. I'll double click and simply hit OK. Now, my toolbar should have gone to black and white once I introduce the layer mask icon. And I want to start hiding the background of this picture. So I'm going to switch it so the black is on top. Now I'm going to use the brush to do the edits. So I'm going to hit B. And I need a hard edge brush to edit this the way I want. So I'm going to click on the little box with the brush in the upper left hand corner of the option window. And it's going to give me the brush settings. Now I could have gotten the brush settings by going up to Window and choosing brush settings from there as well. Second brush, number 123, is a hard edge. I'm going to make sure the spacing is dragged to 1%. And I'm going to set the hardness to about, maybe 80%. And I'm going to make sure that the layer mask icon is selected. You'll know it's selected because there'll be a white broken box around the perimeter. Now with the brush set with black on my toolbar as my foreground color, I would check to make sure the mode of my brush was normal and both opacity and flow were 100%. And that would allow me to go in and edit around this picture. Now the brush might be a little large, so I will right click in my document window, and there I can change the size to something else I might want. Now we don't need really much other than the front of his face on this because the lion costume only reveals the front face of the actor, or the person who in this case is going to be that lion. So I'm going to go around and edit around his neck. I'll keep that for the time being. And I'll come around, and we don't have to be so careful with the ears either, but I'm going to go around now and just at the perimeter of the hair. Now I need to erase everything else so that I see that checkerboard pattern around my whole document. So I'll go ahead and get my brush. Maybe I'll make it larger, and then I'll go in and make that final mask edit. Now once I've got that, I want to put this face into the picture with the lion. So I'll go to the layer mask icon for Donald Trump's face, and I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to choose Apply Layer Mask. And once I've done that, I can now get my Move tool by hitting V, and I'll click on my document window over the face with the left mouse, hold it down, and drag it to the new destination. Now I've got the face into the file in which I want to composite. So I'll close this out, and I won't save it. I'm going to scale this down to fit in position. So I'm going to open up my work area. That's that gray area around the perimeter of your document, so that when I hit Command T to get the transform tool, I can see the transform tools visible. And I'm going to zoom back a bit because the file's big, and once again I'll open it up. Now I can see the full perimeter. I'm going to hold a Shift key, and I'm going to drag on any of the corners because I don't want to distort this picture. So now I'll scale it down and move it into position. And a good rule of thumb is once you've started to scale, you could imagine a parallel line going through both sets of eyes of Trump as well as the lion, and also the mouth, then you've probably scaled it pretty well. His mouth is lower than this one on the lion, so I'll scale it a little bit more from the bottom right corner. Now I'll put it over the file that it's going to replace, And once again, I'm going to put a new layer mask in. And if I've got my brush and it's got a soft edge, I can now minimize the size of it. And I'll just go around the perimeter and blend it in with the lion's costume, like so. Now, if in the event I go too far, I can now put the white on top on my toolbar, and I can retrieve something I might have hidden by accident. I'll hit Command S to save. And now I'm going to tint his face so there's more orange that is similar to the lion's. I'm going to put a new layer in by clicking on the new layer icon at the bottom of the layer window. I'm going to name it Tint, and I'm going to hit I to get the eyedropper, and there's my eyedropper tool highlighted. I'm going to put my cursor over one of the oranges I see in the Cowardly Lion's costume, and I'm going to go to my layer window and I'm going to change it from normal to color. I'm going to change the blend mode. I'm going to my layer window and I'm changing the blend mode from normal to color. I'll hit B on the keyboard to get my brush, and when I paint, I essentially can tint the photo on the layer below.